Alright guys, thank you for checking in the Stormtopia.com and Stormtopia.com Facebook page. We're going to have a daily weather update right now. Current radar imagery is showing that most of the nation is quiet and a very mild day across the east. We're going to get to that map in a second. Also a storm in the west, which we will also get to. Here's current temperatures, very mild. A lot of folks reaching and exceeding 80 up along the east coast, although it's much cooler across the northern plains, not even making it out of the 30s for a lot of spots today in North and South Dakota. Let's take a look right now at the models. We're going to jump right into the NAM for the time we make our way out to tomorrow. And you can see what's essentially happening here is that we've got a pretty typical pattern for this time of year. Big ridge up over the western United States, relatively quiet in the east, perhaps some snow showers in New England. We've got a trough digging in through those areas. We've also got a storm that's starting to get its act together in the west. What's essentially happening here is that we've got plenty of moisture in the southeast Pacific Ocean, and with a trough that's trying to dig on in here we go, with a trough that's trying to dig in the west, we just get these multiple short waves with this moisture that just get organized and they shoot up into California. So through the day on Friday, we're going to see those coming through. Friday night, the main storm is actually going to move through the strongest shortwave. Heavy rain is going to be coming down across most of California, with possibly even some significant accumulations, along with strong winds. Essentially a typical storm for this time of year. We're going to get to what happens here in the east, because it's interesting, because we're going to see a short wave with some windy conditions moving through the day on Friday and Saturday. But through the day on Saturday is when we've got the best chance for snow, because look here, you can see that clearly there's a pretty significant short wave riding along this trough inside the cool air that's inside the trough, which is why that I think there's a pretty significant potential for snow out of this deal. And you can see here on the NAM model that the best chances for this, or this is the GFS, but here's the NAM showing the best chance for snow would be late Saturday night into Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, from essentially east of Lake Huron back into New England. We've also got the potential for a couple snow showers in the UP of Michigan and the Arrowhead of Minnesota. By the way, speaking of the Arrowhead of Minnesota, Duluth, Minnesota just picked up about 7 inches of snow. Very impressive. Now, let's get to and you can see here on the NAM East Coast High Resolution how that short wave is just making its way on through. Behind it, cooler air by the time we make our way out to Monday, along with a major storm slamming into the Pacific Northwest all day on Monday and all day on Tuesday. But at the same time, there's going to be an interesting pattern setting up. When we take a look at the 500 millibar heights, you can see how, yes, it is warm in the west, which has been the pattern for a while now, but you can see a little bit of weakness with some troughing almost that's trying to form with some cooler air in the east where the blue is. Now, what's essentially going to be happening here by the time we get out to Monday and by the time we get out to Tuesday, it's mostly Tuesday, is with this weakness of the trough, the winds kind of go like that around the base of the trough. They sweep through the western Gulf of Mexico, then back up into the mid-south and northeast. The important thing about that is that all that moisture in the Gulf of Mexico has to be brought north and northeast because of the flow of wind. And this is how we get a lot of our storms forming. They just pick up moisture in the Gulf of Mexico, and then they shoot off northeast, interact with cool air, which we don't have this time around, and create a snowstorm for the east. Will this happen? No. What's going to essentially happen as we go through time, I'll show you the GFS here. Essentially all day on Tuesday, we've got this low pressure center just mulling around in the Arklatex, and it just continues to produce rain and unsettled conditions through the day on Wednesday and into Thursday. The reason why it isn't moving is because here's our low pressure center, here's a piece of vorticity associated with it. Because it was such a weak area of coolness associated with the steering pattern for this thing, by the time we make our way out to Thursday, the trough has almost disappeared. The flow of air is back up into the typical jet stream through these areas. So this low is just left around, mulling around in the southeast. So from Tuesday, possibly all the way up until Friday, southeast, these areas are going to get rain and thunderstorms without probably a major storm forming, although that is possible in the longer range. And the reason why we're seeing that is there's no steering flow for this system to go in there. And I believe that's everything I wanted to cover. before we end this video, let's just take a look at what I'm expecting for the longer range. My official long range forecast is available on stormtopia.com. Go to the website and then click long range and you'll be able to find my forecast. But here's essentially what we're talking about in terms of the Euro ensemble, showing what's going on. We've got cooler air as the ice caps start to move further south across northern Canada. And what the essential pattern here is that we've got a troughing that's trying to form in the east. So I'm expecting that probably essentially this entire area that I'm about to circle will be in a cooling trend with cool downs over the next couple of weeks due to this troughing bringing cooler air. Now this next area is where we still have the ridge building. We've still got a warm flow from the western and central Pacific, and we should still stay warm over the next couple of weeks with only minor cool downs associated with short waves and troughs, like the one coming Friday and Saturday with these multiple pulses of moisture. Okay guys, that's basically it for now. Thank you for checking in with Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please spread the word about Stormtopia.com and have a great day.